making you uncomfortable?
You were staring a bit too deep into my soul. Ooh, nice
Welcome to this video, folks. What are we looking at today, Rob?
Right, we are looking at the Made in Japan range. It's the Hybrid and Traditional by Fender.
Indeed. We have a rather lovely selection of FSR Japanese guitars. FSR, if I can speak, factory special run. So essentially limited edition guitars.
This is it. This is all we're going to get.
This is it. Well, I think we might have a couple that are still on the way because there are a few more in the range, but we've got a spattering to show you today. It's really just the other colours that we might not have with us, but we've got most of them. So, as you can see, a selection of mainly Strats and Teles, and as Rob said, falling into two categories. We've got the traditional and the hybrid series. I have a traditional Strat here.
Well, I've got a hybrid.
And you've got a hybrid Tele.
Yeah.
So essentially what they are, the traditional stuff is all 60s influenced guitars. So we've got the 60s traditional Strat, and we've got the 60s traditional Tele, that classic 60s double bound Tele custom kind of thing. All the spec is as you would kind of expect to see on a 60s style guitar. So you've got the vintage style tuners. The frets are fairly small and the necks are fairly slim.
Yeah.
Fairly slim.
They're classic C shape.
Yeah, not tiny,
nothing.
but not huge.
Yeah.
You've got vintage style bridges with the 6-point screws, vintage voiced pickups, 60s voiced pickups. And, well, this one is called Candy Tangerine.
Which is an acquired taste, but it just looks, in the flesh, whether it's sort of translating well over YouTube, it looks really cool.
It is pretty cool.
And I don't think I'd say that because I'm a bit boring.
The hybrid series, as it says on the stickers, is vintage vibe with modern playability. So things they have changed on that guitar. You've got brass saddles, which isn't typically 60s, but a lot of people agree they sound a bit better, a bit fuller. There's no finish on the back of the neck, so it's a satin style neck. And also, strangely, I would say that neck is a little bit thicker than these.
It's a different shape, isn't it? It's more of a...
Which you would typically not associate with a guitar that's labelled as
It's more
more
of a
modern.
U shape than it is a C shape, if that makes sense to people.
These have got Japanese 60s voice pickups, as I say. That has got American vintage 58 pickups in it.
Yeah.
Again, not what I'd call particularly modern, but really, really nice Telecaster pickups. These have all got 7 1/4 inch radius, and that, I believe, has got a 9.8 inch radius.
So again,
so
modern playability again.
More modern. Oh, and very, very cool, very discreet, you may not have even noticed, lock-in tuners.
I still can't see it.
Still can't see it. They look like
that is how discreet they are.
vintage style tuners, but if you look up close, there are no winds there, there's no wraps.
Oh yeah.
And they have the kind of screw head in the top, flat head.
Makes sense to me now.
So yeah, really cool. Vintage style, obviously you've got the sort of 60s custom colour on there, but modern playability, modern feel to the neck, lock-in tuners versus this kind of thing, which is a little bit more vintage, although the colour is a little bit more modern.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what's going on. With basically great limited edition Japanese guitars.
And they've done the whole range.
They've done the whole range. We've got one for the Stevie fans.
Yeah.
Gold hardware, 3-tone Sunburst. I should point out some really nice rosewood as well. In this age of difficulty,
Rosewood being the
with rosewood,
the bad wood.
These have all come in with really, really nice dark fretboards. So for anyone who maybe is not a big fan of the Palferro stuff that's coming out of Mexico at the moment, for pretty much the same money as maybe a top-end Mexican guitar, you can get yourself some of the sweetest looking rosewood I've seen in a while. Really super dark, almost has that Brazilian rosewood look to it. This guy in the middle, the wild card. This has been labelled a 70s style Mustang. Could have fooled me. I mean, it looks a bit like a 60s as well. It's got, again, classic custom colour kind of thing. I forget what they label this one. California blue. Matching headstock, proper Mustang bridge, so it's actually got the trem on there. Love it or hate it, it's traditional kind of spec. Same vintage voice pickups, pretty much the same neck profile as you're getting on this guitar, not that one. Small frets, nice bit of rosewood. Yeah, and I think they come with gig bags as well.
Cool.
Which, again, I don't think is particularly typical for some of the Japanese stuff.
But there is also something, even though that is a 60s inspired guitar, it is actually a basswood body.
Is it?
Yeah. I did my research.
I didn't know that.
I know.
I think that's older.
So yeah, some of them are older, some are basswood. So that's why that one's particularly spanky sounding.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
There you go.
That's
Glad someone did his homework.
Rob's information, yeah. That's
So we'll just give you a... We're not going to play all of them because I think it's if we play this one and this one, you'll get a good feel for it. The rest, up to you. Come on in and have a listen in store. Make your mind up. But it sounds pretty much like you'd expect a Strat.
Yeah.
Nice and sparkly. I always find the Japanese stuff has just a touch more kind of sparkle to it.
I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Japanese guitars, to be honest. I never thought I would admit to that, but when I first played them, these are fantastically made instruments.
Well, I think they have a slight air of mystique about them, don't they? Because Fender has an interesting history with Japanese production. Do your homework and have a look into that. But also, they're not readily available. These are limited edition guitars, and as standard, Japanese product does not feature heavily in the main Fender catalogue. I think there may at any one time be a couple of limited models and maybe an artist model or something, but it's not part of the normal catalogue where you have Squier, Mexico, America, Custom Shop, so on. The Japanese factory largely serves its own home market, so every now and again, when Fender Europe or Fender USA, whoever, dip into that pot and do a limited run, it's really nice because, as you said, we normally only get one of each guitar, maybe two, but in this case definitely just one of each. Once they're gone, and it's your chance to own something that will certainly turn heads. No,
once they make the one model, they just move on to the next batch, and whenever that comes in, who's to know?
Absolutely. So here we go. Glassy. That kind of sound. Middle pickup. A little bit thicker. Fourth position. And neck. Still nice. I don't want to say hi-fi, but nice and clear.
Yeah.
I don't know what the sort of output readings are, but to me, they sound quite hot.
Particularly the neck.
The neck.
Yeah, there's a bit more going on there, isn't there?
Blues Junior today, as standard, not particularly cranked, and you can hear it wanting to make the amp drive. When you dig in, it's got that. Kind of chewy thickness to it. But then when you go to the in-between sounds, they seem to be kind of extra sparkly.
Or Mark Knopfler.
Very glassy, very kind of pristine. As you can see, I am manipulating the trem because they come set up slightly floating, whammy bar included in the bag.
Cool.
There we go. Quick listen to the telly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today's video with, so.
Right, so I'm going to run you through the pickup selection quickly. We forgot to mention that one sort of modern feature, and this guitar is a 4-way switch. So think of the first 3 positions as your traditional Telecaster. So you've got your bridge, your 2 pickups here running in parallel, and then you've got your neck, and then the extra 4th position is running a series. So your sort of more widely spaced humbucker sounds. Anyway, so let's just go through those quickly. So then 2 pickups together in parallel. Got quite a nice glassy sort of sound.
Yeah.
So and just the neck pickup now. And the new one. Much louder. So yeah, it's got a bit of spank to
Like it.
So yeah, traditional Telecaster.
I like it. I'd say that's definitely fatter sounding.
Yeah.
So that hybrid one for the sort of more modern approach, despite having American vintage 58 pickups in there, especially with that extra
Combine
position,
the 2 together.
yeah, that's a thick sounding guitar.
Absolutely.
Still definitely Telecaster, but I'd say that the traditional has more of that glassy, slightly thinner but slightly kind of chimier sound to it.
It's just a nice guitar to play, actually. I mean, I'm not a Telecaster guy, but it's actually really nice to play.
Cool.
Never thought I'd say that either. So there we are.
Well, there you go, guys. That was a brief look at the FSR traditional and hybrid Japanese series guitars. I'll say it again, limited edition. Get them while they're hot. This is all the stock we have. Maybe a couple more guitars on the way, and once they're gone, they're gone. Really interesting pieces, cool colours.
Yeah.
I mean, they stand out on the wall, so
that and the stage lighting.
it's not going to last long.
Let's be fair with. Yeah, it's just going to look awesome.
Right, cheers, guys.